Hello everyone, welcome to the CA Session 4, CSAT Session 4, UPSC CSAT 2025 exam, right? So today we will solve some simple but interesting questions that will help you to do excel in CSAT 2025 exam, right? So without wasting time, let us start solving the questions and learn some simple approaches to tackle these questions. And these questions were asked in UPSC CSAT 2024 exam. So the question is, a certain number of men can complete a piece of work in 6k days, where k is a natural number. By what percent should the number of men be increased so that the work can be completed in 5k days, right? This question is from Time and Work chapter, and this is one of the easiest questions that a serious aspirant should be able to solve, right? So suppose initially the number of men is m. Suppose initially the number of men is m, right? And we are able to see that these m men can complete a piece of work in 6k days, right? Later, the number of men has been increased. So suppose the number of men after increasing the number of men is n, right? And in this case, they can complete the work in 5k days, right? And we know that work done is constant in these two different instances, right? So can we write m into 6k equal to n into 5k? And so remember that m is the number of men in first instance and n is the number of men in another case when the number of men has been increased, right? So can we write it as k and k will cancel each other? So n equal to 6m by 5, and obviously so n equal to 1.2m, right? So now we can say that initially the number of men was m, right? And now the number of men is 1.2m. So we have to find that by what percent should the number of men be increased. It means the number of men that has been increased, the number is 1.2m minus m, that is equal to 0.2m, right? It means 0.2m man has been added in second situation. So now we have to find out that it is what percentage of the initial stage number of men, right? So can we write that m into k divided by 100, suppose it is k percentage, so m into k divided by 100 equal to 0.2m, so k equal to 20 percentage, right? So this is one of the ways to solve this question. And suppose if you are not comfortable by using this method to solve this question, there is another method to solve this question, and that is one of the easiest methods to solve this kind of questions. Suppose initially the number of men is 100. Suppose initially the number of men is 100, right? Why we are considering the number of men as 100 to solve this question? Because since we have to find by what percent to solve this question, so if we assume the number of men is 100 in the first situation, we will not waste much time, right? So suppose the initial number of men is 100 and they are able to complete the work in 6k days, right? And in another situation, suppose the number of men is n and they are able to complete the work in 5k days. So 100 into n equal to 100 into 6k equal to n into 5k, right? So k and k will cancel out each other. So 5 into 20, so 20 into 6 equal to n equal to 120. So what is the increment here? That is 120 minus 100, that is 20. And tell me, 20 is how much percentage of 100? 20 is 20 percentage of 100. So what is the correct answer for of this question? That is option third, and that is 20 percentage. So you can solve this question by using these two methods, right? You will have to find out by practicing more number of questions that you are comfortable to solve this question by which method, right? Now the question is, on January 1st, 2023, a person saved rupees 1. On January 2nd, 2023, he saved rupees 2 more than that on the previous day. On January 3rd, 2023, he saved rupees 2 more than that on the previous day, and so on. At the end of which date? At the end of which date? You have to find this thing. Was his total savings a perfect square as well as perfect cube? It is also one of the simple questions, right? So can we say that savings on day 1, and what is day 1? Day 1 is 1st January 2023, right? So savings on day 1 is rupees 1. Now can we say that savings on day 2 is rupees 1 plus rupees 2, that is rupees 3. Here it is clearly mentioned that on January 2nd, 2023, he saved rupees 2 more than that on the previous day, right? So can we say that savings on day 3 is 3 plus 2, that is rupees 5. So can we say that savings on day 4 is 5 plus 2, that is rupees 7. Since we have to find that at the end of which date was his total savings a perfect square as well as a perfect cube, we have to find total savings on each day. So total savings on day 1 is obviously rupees 1, right? And total savings on day 2 is rupees 1 plus rupees 3. It means rupees 4, right? So total savings on day 3. What is the total savings on day 3? Obviously savings on day 1 plus savings on day 2 plus savings on day 3, right? So it is 1 plus 3 plus 5 rupees, that is equal to rupees 9. Now total savings on day 4 is equal to 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 rupees, that is equal to rupees 16. So we are able to find the total savings on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 and so on, right? Now we have to find that at the end of which date his total savings was a perfect square as well as a perfect cube. Now if you look at this number, you will find that total savings on any day is already a perfect square. You can see that rupees 1 is a perfect square, 4 is a perfect square, 9 is a perfect square, 16 is a perfect square. Obviously if you try to find total savings on day 5, you will find that total savings on day 5, that is equal to rupees 25, and rupees 25 is also a perfect square. It means total savings on any day for this person is a perfect square. Now we have to find that when it is a perfect cube, because we don't have to think about perfect square, we are able to see that total savings on any day is already a perfect square, right? So you should remember that the first natural number, that is a perfect square and a perfect cube. You should know this number, that is a perfect square and perfect cube, that is 64, right? 64 is a perfect square, it is the square of 8, and 64 is a perfect cube, it is the cube of 4, right? Now it means the total savings on day 8 will be 64, right? You can try to add the savings on day 1 plus savings on day 2 plus savings on day 3 and day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8. Obviously the total savings on day 8 is gonna be equal to 64, because you are able to see that total savings on day 1 is the square of 1, total savings on day 2 is the square of 2, total savings on day 3 is the square of 3, total savings on day 4 is the square of 4. So total savings on day 8 is equal to the square of 8. It means total savings on day 8 is 64, and we know that 64 is a perfect square and 64 is a perfect cube, right? So it means total savings on at the end of 8th day, his total savings is a perfect square as well as a perfect cube. Now you have to think, what is the date? Date is 8th January 2023. It means at the end of 8th January 2023, the total savings will be a perfect square and a perfect cube, right? Because day 1 is January 1st 2023, so obviously day 8 is 8th January 2023, right? So you can solve these questions. These questions are not difficult, to be honest, right? If your basics are clear, if you are able to understand these sentences, and if you are able to use these sentences, and you are able to break these sentences in simple things, right, you will be able to solve this question. Now the question is, by what percent of water must be mixed with honey so as to gain 20% by selling the mixture at the cost price of honey, right? So suppose the cost price of 1 ml honey is rupees 1. Since we have to again find what percent of water, so if we assume the total amount of honey in the initial stage, that is 100 ml, right, we will be able to solve the questions very quick, right? You are independent to pick any number, pick any amount, right? But since we have to save our time and it is given that what percent of water, so the CP of 100 ml honey is equal to rupees 100, right? We have to find that by what percent of water must be mixed with honey to gain 20% by selling the mixture at the cost price of honey. So now let us assume that the amount of water that we mix in this 100 ml honey is x ml, right? Is x ml. It means the total amount of the mixture is 100 plus x. The total amount of the mixture is 100 plus x ml, right? So the cost price of mixture is 100 plus x into rupees 1, that is 100 plus x, right? This is the cost price of this mixture. The cost price of this mixture after mixing x ml amount, x ml water in 100 ml honey, right? It means the total amount of the mixture is 100 plus x ml, right? And the cost price of this mixture is 100 plus x into rupees 1, because it is given that we are selling the mixture at the cost price of honey. It means we are selling the mixture 1 ml mixture at rupees 1, and the total amount of mixture is 100 plus x, right? Sorry, selling price of this mixture is 100 plus x into 1 rupees, because it is given that we are selling the mixture at the cost price of honey. So selling price of this mixture is 100 plus x into 1 rupees, that is 100 plus x rupees. Now it is given that profit percentage, gain percentage is 20%. What does it mean? Profit percentage is 20%. So profit percentage is 20%, right? Now we know that what is the cost price of this mixture. What is the cost price of this mixture? Obviously it is 100 rupees. The cost price of this mixture is 100 rupees. Why? Because we know that the CP of 100 ml honey is rupees 100, right? And we don't consider the price of water. We consider the price of water as 0 rupees per ml, right? We think that it is available at negligible price or 0 price. So what is the cost price of this mixture is 100 rupees, and what is the selling price of this mixture is 100 plus x rupees, and what is the profit percentage after selling this mixture is 20%, right? So remember, what is selling price equal to cost price into 100 plus p percentage, right, divided by 100, right? If you use this kind of formula, you can write this thing, and if you don't use formula, you can write 100 plus x, that is equal to 100 into 100 plus p percentage, it means 120 divided by 100, and if you solve this equation, you will get x equal to 20 ml. You will get x equal to 20 ml, right? Since now it is very simple, profit percentage is 20%, cost price is 100 rupees and selling price is 100 plus x. So obviously cost price into 100 plus profit percentage divided by 100 is equal to 100 plus x. Obviously many students will write it as 100 plus x equal to 100 into 1.2, right? Because we know that 120 by 100 is 1.2. So now what did we get? The value of x is 20 ml. It means if we add the amount of water, if we add 20 ml water in this 100 ml honey, we will gain 20%, right? It means now there is another way to think that what is how much 20 is what percentage of 100. So obviously 100 into k divided by 100, that is k equal to 20%. But since we have already considered the amount of honey, that is 100 ml, we don't have to think about percentage, right? The total amount of honey is 100 ml and we are adding 20 ml honey. It means 20% water, right? So the correct option of this question is option 1, right? The question is, a number is mistakenly divided by 4 instead of multiplying by 4. What is the percentage change in the result due to this mistake? Sorry, suppose the number is 100. Suppose this number is 100, right? And we had to multiply it by 4. We had to multiply it by 4 and that number will be equal to 400. But what did we do? We mistakenly divided by 4. It means we got number 25 after dividing this number by 4, right? It means we got the number 25, but we had to get 400, right? So what is the percentage change in the result due to this mistake? Obviously what is the change? 400 minus 25, right? That is equal to 375, right? So now percentage change equal to what? 375 divided by 400 into 100, right? And it is equal to 93.75%. The number that we should get 400 and we got by mistake 25, right? It means what is the change here? 375. And now we have to find out that 375 is how much percentage of 400. Suppose 375 is k percentage of 400, right? It means 400 into k divided by 100 equal to 375. You can think also in this way, right? And if you know this thing, that percentage change, if you know that we can calculate percentage change by this method, you can also use this method, right? So what is the correct answer for this question is option D, that is equal to 93.75%, right? Now the question 5 is, let x be a 2-digit number and y be another 2-digit number formed by interchanging the digits of x. If x plus y is the greatest 2-digit number, then what is the number of possible values of x? It is given that x is a 2-digit number. So let us assume that x is mn, right? Obviously where m and n are digits, right? Where m and n are digits, right? We have assumed that x is mn, right? So we are getting y that is formed by interchanging the digits of mn. So y is equal to nm, right? So can we write that x equal to 10 into m plus n, right? And we can write y equal to 10 into n plus m, right? So now what is x plus y? It is given that x plus y is the greatest two-digit number. So now x plus y is equal to 10m plus n plus 10n plus m, that is equal to 11m plus 11n, right? Now we know that x plus y is the greatest two-digit number. So tell me, what is the greatest two-digit number? The greatest two-digit number is 99, right? It means x plus y is equal to 99. So what is x plus y? X plus y is 11m plus 11n, right? It means m plus n is equal to 9, right? How did we calculate that m plus 9 is equal to 9? 11 into m plus n equal to 99. So m plus n equal to 99 by 11. So m plus n equal to 9. It means we got that m plus n is equal to 9. Now we have to find that what is the number of possible values of x. Now we can write 1 plus 8 equal to 9, 2 into 7, sorry 2 plus 7 equal to 9, 3 plus 6 equal to 9, 4 plus 5 equal to 9, 5 plus 4 equal to 9, 6 plus 3 equal to 9, 7 plus 2 equal to 9, and 8 plus 1 equal to 9, right? So what is the number of possible values of x? This is 8, right? So what is the correct option of this question is option D, that is 8, right? So the number of possible values of x is 8. It means x can be equal to 8 means 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81. X can be equal to one of these 8 numbers. So the number of possible values of x is 8, that is option D. Now let us look at question number 6. It is given that the total cost of 4 oranges, 6 mangoes and 8 apples is equal to twice the total cost of 1 orange, 2 mangoes and 5 apples. Consider the following statements, right? We have to find out about these two statements and we have to find that which of these statements is correct, right? So it is given that the total cost of 4 oranges, 6 mangoes and 8 apples is equal to twice the total cost of 1 orange, 2 mangoes and 5 apples. Now let us assume that the cost price of 1 orange is x rupees. The cost price of 1 orange is x rupees and cost price of 1 mango is y rupees and the cost price of 1 apple, the cost of 1 apple is z rupees, right? So the total cost of 4 oranges, it means 4 into x plus 6 mangoes means 6 into y plus 8 apples means 8 into z, right, is equal to twice the total cost. It means twice the total cost of 1 orange. Obviously 1 orange means x plus 2 mangoes means 2 into y plus 5 apple means 5 into z, right? So can we write it as 4x plus 6y plus 8z, that is equal to 2x plus 4y plus 10z, right? So can we write it as 4x minus 2x, that is equal to 2x, 6y minus 4y, that is equal to 2y, and we can write it as 10z minus 8z means 2z, right? So can we write it as x plus y equal to z? Where did we got from? We have got from x plus y equal to z from this sentence, right? And we have assumed that the cost of 1 orange is x rupees, the cost of 1 mango is y rupees, the cost of 1 apple is z rupees, right? So now let us look at these two statements and we have got x plus y equal to z, where x is the cost of 1 orange, y is the cost of 1 mango and z is the cost of 1 apple. Now it is given that the total cost of 3 oranges, the total cost of 3 oranges, 5 mangoes and 9 apples is equal to the total cost of 4 oranges, 6 mangoes and 8 apples. So what is the cost of 3 oranges? It is 3 into x means 3x plus 5 mangoes means plus 5y plus 9 apples means 9z is equal to the total cost of 4 oranges. So 4 oranges means 4 into x plus 6 mangoes means plus 6y plus 8 apples means 8z, right? So can we write it as 4x minus 3x means x, 6y minus 5y means plus y, 9z minus 8z means z. So we got from statement 2 z equal to x plus y, and we already know that x plus y equal to z. It means statement 1 is correct, but we have to check also about statement 2, right? What did we get from statement 1? X plus y equal to z, and it is already clear that x plus y equal to z. Now let us look at statement 2. It is given that the total cost of 1 orange and 1 mango is equal to the cost of 1 apple. So the total cost of 1 orange and 1 mango, the cost of 1 orange x, the cost of 1 mango, that is y, is equal to the cost of 1 apple, that is z. So statement 2 also told us that x plus y equal to z. It means statement 2 is also correct. So what is the correct option of this question? That is option 3, both 1 and 2. So hopefully you learned some things that will be helpful for your CSAT preparation, right? So if you have any doubts or if you need any kind of further clarification, do reach out to the CrackGradeB team, right? And if you practice these questions again, hopefully these problem solving techniques will definitely enhance your performance in CSAT exam, right? So see you in next session.